Today we're going to do something a little bit different. We are actually going to do kind of a reaction video to a Harper's Bazaar Go to Bed With Me. And instead of reacting to how they do their skincare routine, etc., we're going to basically do an affordable alternatives to that skincare routine. I thought it would be kind of a fun twist on my affordable alternatives series, which I will link in the description box, but kind of a way to see a celebrity skincare routine and then see how you could actually do a similar routine. And at the end, we'll compare the price tags. We'll see how much it would cost to mimic the skincare routine of the celebrity versus how much you could do a very, very similar routine, you know, for less, obviously. So in today's video, we're actually going to be watching Miss Hannah Waddingham. Now, she is one of the stars in the show Ted Lasso. She's absolutely gorgeous. And part of the reason why I chose her as my first first person to do this with is because she is my age and she is gorgeous. She says she is into skincare and I really was excited to follow along. She's incredibly pleasant to listen to. So let's watch a little bit about Hannah Waddingham.
Hello there, I'm Hannah Waddingham. Are you ready to go to bed with me? I've kind of fallen in love with skincare, being in my mid-40s. I try and mix and match things that are more expensive and less expensive. I'm absolutely obsessed with very, very good products. No rubbish in them.
Okay, so first of all, I just love her philosophy. She's gotten into skincare, especially as she's aged, which is like so many of us, myself included, and she's looking for quality products that don't necessarily have a lot of crap in them, for lack of a better word. So I can definitely appreciate her philosophy. She looks amazing. Not just the skin on her face, but her neck, her décolleté, she just looks fantastic.
I've always used a cleansing balm. One, because I like it being a one-purpose thing. I don't really like separate eye makeup remover. And I just think it really gets into the grub and into the makeup. I always use, it's in a different pot, but I always use Elemis Pro Collagen Cleansing Balm. All about the trying to plump up your skin as much as possible. Use about that little bit. Because I do think as well, if you put too much stuff on your skin, it kind of gets used to too many products. Help if I actually took my other earring out. It wasn't a look I was going for. Right, here we go. Always going up. Get in there. I've just realized you guys are going to be seeing all the ridiculous faces I probably didn't know I pulled. Always up the neck. Oh God, that's so satisfying. Look how much that already takes everything off. And it feels like it's feeding your face at the same time.
I've actually used the Elemis Pro Collagen Cleansing Balm. Now that one actually runs $38 for 1.76 ounces. So there are other cleansing balms on the market that are much more affordable that are just as good. My philosophy on that is you need to pick a cleansing balm that's obviously good for your skin, but at the same time, if you're doing a double cleanse, you're likely just going to be washing all of the goodness that you just put on your skin. You're washing it off with your second cleanse and then you're going on. So there really isn't a need to spend a ton of money on a cleansing balm unless you just really, really love it and it's a sensory experience and it's what it's part of your self-care and you love it. Okay, then that's fine. But if you want to save some coin, it's definitely a good place to do that. Some of my very favorites forever has been the Physicians Formula. This is the Perfect Matcha. I have loved this one forever. It is a cleansing balm that is kind of similar to the Elemis as far as you put it on and it will definitely break down all of the kind of oil-based things on your skin, or it will help to break down sunscreen and makeup and eye makeup, all of that stuff. Another one that's been a favorite forever is the Clean It Zero by Banila. Then you could also do oils. You could simply do a cleansing oil. Like I like the Neogen, this is their Cica cleansing oil. The one from Purito, this is the From Green cleansing oil. All of these are good. Now these, the difference is they're already in an oil form. So they aren't any different really than a cleansing balm. It's just kind of a different form. The cleansing balm actually turns into an oil on your skin as it emulsifies and mixes in with the warmth of your skin. So all an oil really is kind of a cleansing balm already in the oil form. So it really just depends on your preference for that one, but you can definitely do that step really, really well for less money, for sure. Now, the other thing that I wanted to say is if you're not familiar with what a double cleanse is, a double cleanse is simply cleansing twice, as the name would suggest. But what you're doing is the first cleanse is oil-based, so it's supposed to be breaking down your sunscreen, breaking down your makeup, your eye makeup, all of that stuff. Then the second cleanse is typically one that is going to not only help to remove any of the residue from the oil cleanse, but it's also kind of the one that sort of leaves everything fresh and clean, and it's usually water-based. So you do an oil-based, then you do a water-based, and it leaves your skin just fresh and nice and clean. Recently, you guys know that in my PM routine, I let you know that I'm not really doing a double cleanse right now. I've just gotten kind of lazy. So something that you can do is you can find a single cleanse that helps to break down makeup and sunscreen and all of that kind of stuff, but then also rinses away clean. So for me, just like in my PM routine, that is the Honest Beauty. This is the Gel to Milk Cleanser. This is such a fantastic product, you guys. It's affordable and it lasts forever and ever. And I definitely find that when I use this applied to dry skin and I work it around my face and then I add water, I feel like it kind of does a double cleanse all in one. That first part feels like you're kind of breaking down everything. Then the second part feels very much more like a watery cleanse. Leaves your skin really soft and supple, and I just love it. So if you are somebody who's just never gonna take the time to do a double cleanse, this is a great one for a single cleanse. But if you do want to do a double cleanse, you definitely do not need to spend the money on something like Elemis. So let's see what she does for her second cleanse.
Get the Elemis Superfood Facial Wash. I always think it's really good to double cleanse. A facialist told me this years ago. It's really good to double cleanse because you're not just getting the makeup off and the grime of the day, you're getting the dead skin cells off. And it smells so good. Really makes your skin super polished.
So my philosophy on the second cleanse or cleansers in general is that you definitely do not need to spend your money here either. I really feel like you can get a great cleanser at an affordable price. Again, though, if you love a more expensive cleanser and it's something that really is kind of important to you, that's okay. That's totally okay. I have an expensive cleanser or two that I absolutely love, my Is Clinical Cleansing Complex. That will be in my life, my entire life. It is one of my favorite cleansers, and honestly, a bottle lasts like 6 months. So it does go for a really long time. However, that said, you can definitely do a cleanse for a little amount of money. You do not need to spend a ton of money on a cleanser. One that I've been recently using is by Garnier. This is from their Green Labs line, and this is their, I think it's called pronounced Pinea-C. Anyway, this one actually has pineapple, probably the Pinea, has pineapple and various enzymes in there to help with the cleanse. It's a really beautiful cleanse. It does have a little bit of a fragrance. I mean, I feel like the fragrance is relatively potent. Of course it dissipates, but if you're not into fragrance in your cleansers, then you may not like this one. An alternative to this one that is absolutely amazing is the Vanicream Hydrating Cleanser. It is one of the best cleansers that I've ever used. I also always have that one in my arsenal, and it is so incredibly inexpensive. A bottle of that also lasts like 6 months, and it's in the $8 or $9 range. So you can definitely do your second cleanse or your one and done cleanse, whether it's this or the Vanicream. You can do that part for much less expense so that maybe you can save your money for the things that are really impactful on our skin.
So then every single night and every single morning, I use this. I don't know if you can see that there. Hayo'u Facial Oil. And it's part of the gua sha system of lymphatic drainage. So I just press that on. And this is something that's really nice to do just as like a 1 minute ritual for yourself every day. Everyone else can, and you just do your own thing. And these are my jades, very calming on the skin. And I just hold them, especially in the morning, if I'm getting up at like 4:20 in the morning and going to shoot. Just hold them under there like that. Hold them there and all up through there. But in general, a little bit of a pull away like this. And I won't bore you with it for any longer, but always kind of scooping up the jawline, scooping in under the cheekbone is great, and then up, over and through the eyebrows. These are a brilliant investment.
Okay, as far as oils are concerned, I also think that you can find really fantastic oils for less expensive than this Hayo'u. Good Molecules has an oil that is called the Super Hydrating Oil. I think that that one is so great, and it would appear that the real reason that she's using the oil is not only to moisturize her skin, but also to perform gua sha. It is really fantastic for moving lymph, moving fluid away from your face. I definitely do this on a very regular basis. The thing that I think here is that she's probably also using the gua sha from the same brand, and those run about $42 a piece. I don't think that you actually need to spend that much money on gua sha tools. I think that you can get them for less expensive. If you are somebody who buys into the jade and the rose quartz and the quality of the stone, and that makes a difference for the energy, etc., that's different. I'm not really that into that. I think that really what's going on here is the action of the massage, the shape of the stone, and the coldness of the stone, along with the slip because of the oil. So I have a gua sha that is very similar to hers, and I want to say this was maybe $8. So you can easily get a couple gua sha that are not $42 a piece and perform the same exact kind of ritual that she's talking about, that I do think is fantastic.
And then we come to fabulous Sturm, brilliant molecular serum. This is probably my most expensive thing, but it's absolutely packed with hyaluronic acid. And like I said, when you're getting older, I'd rather spend money on the good bits that I know really work. And as I said before, no pulling down ever, always just up and out.
There's a couple things here. I wasn't really going to commentate on her actual routine. I just wanted to do the kind of dupes, but I will point out that if I were going to critique her routine, I would definitely be putting a serum before the oil. You definitely want to keep oils and occlusive moisturizers to the end of your routine, not prior to things like water-based serums, which a hyaluronic acid serum is typically just water-based. So if I were going to recommend anything to her, I would say just swap those. Put that hyaluronic acid before you put that oil on, so that your water-based serum gets in and then your oil kind of locks it in. And then you may also have maybe an occlusive moisturizer, etc., down the line towards the end. But I definitely would reverse those. Now, as far as this particular serum is concerned, this serum is $350 for 1 single ounce. Now, I've talked about some of Dr. Barbara Sturm's products before in other affordable alternatives videos, and there's nothing wrong with her products. There's certainly nothing wrong with them. I just believe that they're overpriced. That's my opinion. And this one is no exception. Now, at $350 for 1 ounce, that is just a lot of money for a basically hyaluronic acid based serum. Now, there is a star of the show in most of Dr. Barbara Sturm's products, and that's portulaca. Portulaca is a fantastic ingredient, but I don't think there's any real evidence that it is any more potent or wonderful than some of the other ingredients in other serums. So a really fantastic, affordable alternative to this particular serum would be the Neogen SubQ. This is by their line Hylamide. Now, I've actually used the SubQ line for years. I think I first talked about this line on my channel in like 2017. It's a really fantastic serum. It is also hyaluronic acid based. It's just beautiful. It has so many similar ingredients. It does not have that portulaca, but I don't really think you need the portulaca. And the price difference is incredible. Instead of 1 ounce at $350, you actually get, let me just tell you guys, you get 8 times more for your money here. So you could go through 8 of these bottles for 1 single bottle of that Dr. Barbara Sturm. So this would be my alternative in that step, although I would switch those steps and put it before the oil.
And then after that, sometimes I'll swap it out with a really good basic thing that I absolutely love. That's what I'm talking about the cheaper things, but not necessarily most expensive things are the best. Weleda Skin Food Light, absolutely brilliant on flights and just a real all-purpose. It's like my version of Elizabeth Arden 8 Hour. You can put it on your elbows, put it on your lips. Really gorgeous and smells fabulous. You can use it on your legs, but it's something that always keeps my face calm and moisturized.
Okay, the Weleda Skin Food Light is actually a wonderful product. There isn't a dupe that I would put in for this one. It is pretty affordable and it's kind of a cult classic. I think that lots of people like both this one in the light version as well as the original Weleda. And she's right, it's kind of like the Elizabeth Arden 8 Hour Cream. It has that similar kind of texture and it feels like it's really nourishing. You can use it in so many different places. So I love it that she recommended that in here. And I think that it is a fantastic alternative. So we're gonna leave it because that one is good already.
And then we put a little bit of my night cream on. Charlotte Tilbury, I'm telling you, it's like honey for your skin. Just put a bit in the hands. I always start here because I think as you get older, you start to get these lines there. Just press it in all around the lips, up through there.
This product from Charlotte Tilbury doesn't necessarily look bad or anything, but basically what we have is a glycerin forward, castor seed oil. It has some other vegetable oils in there, and it has some linoleic and oleic polyglycerides. It has some nice ingredients in it. It does have retinol down the list a little ways, and that does make it a nice night cream. Again, though, the fact that she's putting it on after she's put her oil on a little bit earlier probably makes some of the actives in that less able to penetrate and do their job, especially in a product like this that, you know, they're probably relatively weak. But I would tell you that a better night cream, in my opinion, that is much more affordable and is packed with peptides and all kinds of great ingredients is the Drmtlgy, the Peptide Night Cream. If you have not tried this yet, it is a beautiful night cream. And of course, this brand is incredibly affordable and has some really beautiful products. This one is kind of a silky cream. So many fantastic ingredients. Now, it's very, very silky, and it leaves your skin feeling extremely nourished and comforted overnight, but it's not heavy and it doesn't feel like you're going to be sticky. You wake up and you don't feel like something heavy has been sitting on top of your skin. You feel like something got in and did a little bit of good, which is those ceramides and also, of course, those peptides. So it is a beautiful product, and I actually think it's better than the Charlotte Tilbury. I think that it is a better product with more things that are good for your skin, especially as we're aging, than this one from Charlotte Tilbury.
Lucky, I'm just putting the eye cream on. The person who's taught me, the people that have taught me the most about it are, of course, the brilliant makeup artists that I get to work with. They're just brilliant. And I love the fact that they don't always use the most crazy expensive things. I was very much tipped the wink about Weleda. Can you see I'm also putting stuff in all of the cheeky lady bits?
Okay, as far as the eye cream is concerned, I definitely recommend that an eye cream contain a retinoid at our age. Hannah is the same age as me, we're 47, and I really do think that getting something with retinaldehyde or a retinol in it is just super, super helpful for that skin around the eyes, as well as really helpful for everywhere else you put that eye cream. I think that that's a fantastic trick to take your eye cream and when there's leftover on your fingers, because a lot of times most of us use just a little bit too much, we don't need as much, to put it in those other places where, you know, could use just a little bit of extra attention. I think that that is so fantastic. I did do an eye cream video not too long ago where I said that I had a couple eye creams that I really think are the best for anti-aging, and it was my La Roche-Posay Redermic because it has retinol and it also has caffeine. I love that one. But also Avene has Physiolift and Retrinal. Those contain retinaldehyde. Retinaldehyde is a step down from the active form of retinoic acid, and it just takes a quick conversion to turn into the active form, and it happens to also be less irritating and just more potent than retinol. It's stronger than retinol and less irritating, closer to being active so that our skin can actually recognize it. I'm not dissing on Charlotte Tilbury, but I definitely do not think that that's the best eye cream you can get, especially for the money.
Just as a little heads up as well, the writing's rubbed off because I use it so much. Alpha Liquid Gold. It's a glycolic acid that you use. Can you tell I like my skincare? On a pad, you just soak a pad. So when you've done your say for example, I would do my cleansing balm and my face wash. Some nights I would not put moisturizer on at all, and I'd just get this soaked on a pad and just sweep it everywhere. And it's like it breaks down all the rubbish that's on your face. And if you have the confidence to not use a moisturizer afterwards, it's even better because it gets deeper in and then can air itself. You wake up in the morning and you look like you've got a new layer of skin.
Okay, this is actually a product that I own, and I agree with her. It is a fantastic product. It's kind of like in a toner form, like she suggested, and you put it onto a cotton pad and then you put it on. I often have used this actually in the morning before like other things that are a similar pH. But if you want to use something like this at night and you want a more affordable alternative, CeraVE actually has an overnight resurfacing glycolic acid with licorice product that is more affordable than this. It is not in a toner form, it's actually in kind of a lotion form, but it would be one of those things that you kind of skip everything else that you're doing that night and you decide to do an overnight, acid treatment essentially. That's what this is. This almost just takes place of everything else that you would normally do whatever night you decide to do it, except for maybe a moisturizer. And then you go to bed and you wake up with exfoliated skin, chemically exfoliated skin. If you're not familiar with glycolic acid, it is an alpha hydroxy acid. It's a very, very small molecule. That small molecule is able to get into our skin a little bit deep, and it's able to help to exfoliate. So it helps to kind of disencrust the cells, the gluey cells that are stuck together so that we can shed them. It also helps to stimulate collagen. So glycolic acid is one of those anti-aging, ingredients that is really, really fantastic. And it's kind of the counterpart, in my opinion, to like retinoids. So this is a fantastic product. This runs, I want to say it's like $54 for the 3 point something or other ounces. But you can get that CeraVE for $21.99 for like an ounce and a half or an ounce and 3/4. I would say that they probably both go about the same amount of time, even though the ounces are a little bit different, because this is a liquid and you soak a cotton pad and use it, whereas the CeraVE, you use 1 or 2 pumps and then that's all you need for a night. Both of them, in my opinion, would be every so many nights, maybe once a week, or just depends on your particular skin. So you wouldn't be using them every single night. You'd use them once or twice a week. Now the CeraVE one does also have the licorice. Now licorice is fantastic because it's soothing, and it is also something that's going to help with pigment. So licorice helps as a pigment inhibitor. It soothes, it's anti-inflammatory. It is in here, which is a fantastic balance to glycolic acid. So they're very, very similar in what they can do for your skin, just in kind of a little bit different of a form.
That's brilliant. And also I always, even in the winter, wear a factor 50 primer, but I wear it in the summer as well. I've been wearing it here in New York and in LA. Factor 50, Armani, Maestro UV, brilliant under makeup. And I've never ever burnt my skin when I'm wearing this, even if I've been in crazy hot places like Mallorca and Italy and the like. Absolutely, I think the best primer there is.
The Giorgio Armani primer is just fine. I mean, it's an SPF of 50, and truth be told, you're probably not going to actually use enough of that to get the sun protection factor that they are promising with 50, because you need to use quite a bit of your sunscreen to actually get the SPF number. I would definitely recommend maybe using that as a primer as well as a dedicated sunscreen. However, I will tell you that I do have a couple of sunscreens that over the years I've actually commented to people and said that they felt like a primer, and they are definitely more affordable than the Giorgio Armani. One is from Drmtlgy. This is their universal tinted moisturizer. I've been talking about this for a few years. Now this one is tinted. So if you like a tinted sunscreen, this one could work for you. It is very silky, and I didn't find that it dried out my skin. It really worked really well, and you can use it under makeup. Now another one that is not tinted, that this one is actually kind of a dupe for, is the Elta MD UV Clear. Now that one and this one both have high purity niacinamide in them and about 5%. And what that's gonna do for you, it's gonna help with your pores, it's gonna help with your barrier function. It's also a pigment inhibitor. It's a fantastic ingredient to see in a sunscreen. but it's also really helpful with acne and things like that. The UV Clear is, there is no white residue and it performs really well like a primer. I wore that one for years before I discovered the Drmtlgy, and I remember telling clients from in the treatment room, because we carried Elta MD in clinic, I remember telling people this feels just like a primer. It's so silky and it wears so well under makeup. Your makeup actually looks better for wearing that sunscreen, which at the time I had never experienced before. Sunscreen was always the thing that you're like, ugh, this is gonna ruin everything. And the Elta MD wasn't like that. It was actually something I looked forward to, almost like part of my makeup routine, only it was this amazing skincare product. So Elta MD UV Clear and also the Drmtlgy Universal Tinted Moisturizer, those are two options that I actually think are a lot better than the Giorgio Armani, and they're also more affordable.
And that's it. All done, squeaky clean, all moisturized, and I'm gonna get some sleep. But check out season 2, Ted Lasso, dropping on the 23rd of July. You are going to love it.
Okay, overall, I thought she had a really fantastic skincare routine. I would swap the way things were here and there, but I really did think that she ticked a lot of boxes. The only thing I would probably add in there, and again, I wasn't really going to critique this routine, but I would add a dedicated retinoid for sure. I would get that in sometime toward the beginning of her routine if possible. So I love everything that she's done. I just think we can do it for more affordable. So we are going to tally it all up, and I'm going to put on the screen right here what was the total of her products right here, and what was the total of my affordable alternatives right here. So you can see that you can actually mimic a routine, get some really fantastic results, you know, and get a great skincare routine in for quite the difference, right? I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you have any celebrities that you'd love for me to do an affordable alternatives. I would be happy to take a look and kind of research it out and find some alternatives so that we can all be kind of better consumers and figure out ways to take care of our skin that doesn't have to break the bank. I hope you're all having a wonderful week. I'll talk to you in my next skincare video. Take care.